Okay, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down one of the most incredible philosophical showdowns in history. It's a clash of ideas between a man who thought he was literally unbeatable and the Buddha himself. And it all centers on one of the biggest questions there is. What even is the self?
So meet our challenger, Saccaka. To say this guy was confident would be the understatement of the century. I mean, just listen to that quote. He seriously believed he could make a wooden post shake just by arguing with it. He was absolutely convinced he was the smartest guy in any room, even a room with a Buddha in it.
And you gotta understand, Saccaka wasn't just some nobody shouting on a street corner. He was a big deal, a respected teacher, even considered holy by a lot of people. And he decided, you know what? I'm going to publicly take on the Buddha and prove that his teachings about the self are a harmful misconception.
And this wasn't going to be some quiet, private chat. Oh no. He gathered a crowd of 500 influential leaders, the Lichavis, to watch. He was staging a massive public event because he was 100% sure he was going to walk away the winner and wanted everyone to see it.
Now this is where it gets kind of wild. Look at the language he used. He wasn't just going to beat the Buddha in an argument. He told everyone he was going to drag him around like a sheep, toss him, shake him down, play with him like a toy. This is some serious pre-fight trash talk. He's not here for a polite discussion. He's here to intellectually destroy his opponent.
So, Saccaka and his whole crew find the Buddha just sitting peacefully under a tree, and he doesn't waste a second. He marches right up, gets straight to the point, and lays down his argument. This is the moment the showdown really begins.
Okay, so here's the core of the whole debate. On one side, you have Saccaka. His view is pretty straightforward. You are your components. Your body, your feelings, your thoughts, your consciousness, all that stuff, he says, is yourself. But the Buddhist teaching is the complete opposite. He's saying, nope, all of those things change. They come and go. So how can any of that be the real permanent you?
All right, so the challenge is on the table. Saccaka has made his big opening statement. Now you'd probably expect the Buddha to fire back with his own argument, right? But he doesn't. He does something way smarter. He just starts asking questions.
He kicks it off with a really simple analogy. He asks Saccaka, hey, a king, does he have power in his own kingdom? You know, can he give orders, banish people, do what he wants? And Saccaka's like, yeah, of course, a king runs his own kingdom. It seems like such an obvious, harmless question. But what Saccaka doesn't realize is he just walked right into a perfectly set trap.
And boom, there it is, the checkmate. The Buddha takes Saccaka's own logic and flips it right back on him. He asks, okay, so you say your body, your form, is yourself, and you just agreed a king has power over his own domain. So, do you have that kind of power over your body? Can you just decide, may my form be like this, and make it happen? Can you tell it not to get sick, not to get old?
And silence. The great unbeatable debater is completely floored. He's got nothing. He's totally cornered, because the answer is obviously no, and he knows it. Just moments ago, he was so sure his form was his self, and now he's face to face with the undeniable fact that he has no real control over it at all.
The Buddha asks him again. Still, crickets, just silence. And then the Buddha very calmly turns up the heat. He basically says, hey, Saccaka, just so you know, there's this old rule. If a Buddha asks you a legitimate question 3 times, and you refuse to answer, your head, well, it explodes into 7 pieces. You can just imagine the tension in the air.
And right on cue, as if to prove the point, a spirit holding a giant flaming thunderbolt appears in the sky, hovering right over Saccaka's head. And that's it. Faced with total intellectual defeat on one hand and a supernatural threat on the other, all that bravado just shatters. He's terrified, and he finally agrees to answer the question. And from there, it is a total demolition. The Buddha methodically goes down Saccaka's list. Okay, what about your feelings? Can you control them? Your perceptions, your choices, your consciousness. And for every single one, Saccaka is forced to admit, no, I can't. His entire argument is just taken apart, piece by piece, using his own logic against him.
So yeah, the debate is officially over. The unbeatable debater has been utterly beaten. And the amazing part is, He wasn't beaten by a better argument. He was crushed by the flaws in his own. The aftermath? Well, it's pretty stunning to see.
The Buddha just calmly points out the physical proof of what just happened. He says, "Look at you. Sweat is pouring off your forehead, it's soaking your robe. The guy who bragged he could make anyone tremble is now literally drenched in sweat from the stress." And then the Buddha says, "As for me, I have no sweat on my body at all." It's such a powerful image of inner turmoil versus inner peace.
The story then gives us these two brilliant analogies for the defeat. Saccaka's argument is compared to a banana tree trunk. You can peel away layer after layer, but when you finally get to the middle, there's nothing solid there. It's completely hollow. Then, one of the people in the crowd compares him to a crab that's had all its claws snapped off. All his clever twists and dodges are broken, leaving him totally helpless.
But here's the really important part. This isn't just about a guy getting humiliated in public. This total intellectual collapse is actually the start of a genuine transformation. It's the moment that paves the way for the real lesson of the whole story.
Completely humbled, Saccaka just owns it. He admits all his boastful talk was just nonsense. The fighter is gone, and in his place is a student. He sincerely asks the Buddha, "Okay, so how does a person actually become a follower of your teaching?"
And here's the payoff. The Buddha lays out the central teaching. He explains that a true disciple is someone who can look at all these parts of their experience, their body, their feelings, their thoughts, and see them with total clarity, understanding, this is not mine, I am not this is not myself.
So the ultimate goal is to free your mind by stopping that constant grasping. Freedom isn't about controlling all these things. It's about seeing them for what they are, impermanent phenomena, and just letting them go. When you stop clinging to them as me or mine, that's liberation.
Saccaka's transformation is now complete. He fully understands how foolish his arrogance was. He says that challenging the Buddha was like trying to attack a charging elephant or punch a raging fire, just an act of pure folly. And, in a total sign of respect, he invites the Buddha and all his monks for a meal, a complete 180.
And so, this ancient debate, this showdown in the woods, leaves us with a question that's just as powerful today as it was back then. Saccaka was forced to confront it, and now, so are we. If all the things you usually identify as you, your body, your feelings, your thoughts, are not truly under your control, then what exactly are you?